Oh my gosh, I'm having troubles mentally, physically, and emotionally. What is up, bookish people? So today we're going to talk about my winter TBR. We're going to talk about my winter recommendations. First, I think we should talk about my recommendations because like I don't have many. I am still in my brain trying to think of like what's considered a winter recommendation in a summer, because I can read a summer book in the winter and read a winter book in the summer, and I don't really see it in that light, so it's kind of hard for me. I'm just like, I just want to recommend books. I want to throw them out. I'm going to do my recommendations first. If you want to read a fantasy, I do recommend the Cruel Prince trilogy. I know that a lot of people talk about this book and probably people are sick about hearing about this book, but I loved this trilogy. The first one though, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because I went into this book kind of thinking a little bit different than what it was, and I did enjoy it, but there were parts of it that my brain just was like, I wasn't expecting this type of book. But when I got to the second and third book, I did give both of these 5 stars. So I do actually want to reread the first one and maybe even reread the whole trilogy just to see if I have a difference of opinion now. Since I gave the last 2 5 stars, I might or might not, depending on just everything that I know now, you know? I do love this trilogy though, highly recommend. But when you go into these books, a lot of people talked about this being such a deep romance plot, which there is a romance plot, but it's not the full story. And do not go into this series expecting this huge romance plot thicken throughout the whole series. Like, it's not that is not the main plot of this series by any means. So yes, I do highly recommend. Next we have the Smell Like Ashes trilogy. Honestly, these trilogies, I'm giving you the first book because I don't know the actual name of the full trilogies, so keep that in mind. This is a book series written by this woman. You know, I am really bad at authors' names, and I just need to get better. But in this first book, we follow Mira, who is a feisty, spirited woman. I can tell you that right now. Well, not really woman. I think she's a teenager. But the Winterlands has been taken over, and most of the Winterians have been enslaved or killed. And there is a bandit of Winterians who have escaped from the clutches of the evil kingdom. I don't remember which kingdom it is, but Mira has lived her whole life as a refugee, and this story of them trying to save their kingdom and find a magical conduit is such an interesting story, and I highly recommend. I don't see anybody talk about these books at all whatsoever. I think they're really cute. Now, to be frank, they are young adult, so the way that they're written a little bit sometimes can be young adult, if you know what I mean. And even so, I still really enjoyed it, and I would at least give it a chance if I were you, because you might enjoy it too. And it's Kingdoms of the Seasons. I mean, it's cool. I liked it. Next, I want to talk about a series that is very near and dear to my heart. Okay, so we have the novellas along with the series. So we have the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. I don't think you understand the love I have for these books. I don't think you could even fathom. I read these books for the first time, I think, when I was in middle school. And they're fairy tale retellings. And each book you add a new character. So we're going to go through each one. First we have Cinder, which is Cinderella. Second, we have Scarlet, which is Little Red Riding Hood. Third, we have Chris, which is Rapunzel. Thorn. Oh my goodness. Last but not least, we have Winter. This is immediately actually kind of why I put this on the Winter TBR list, because it's Snow White. And then the novellas, Fairest, which is kind of like a novella of the evil queen of the story, and a Lunar Chronicles collection, Stars Above. And listen, I have not read this actually. I've had this for years. I bought it when it came out and then I never picked it up. So this is definitely going on my winter TBR. So this is the first one on the winter TBR. I'm so excited. It is such a good story of all the retellings and how she added the characters in as the story goes along. So the first book, I'm just going to tell you, follows Cinder. She is like a cyborg, and she's just trying to uncover her past that she doesn't really know anything about. I'm not going to give you much because I want you to jump into the series with no thought. Just go into it. It's so good. And next is a book that I don't know if, I know it's a series, but I don't know how many books are in the series. It's A Winter's Promise by Christella Dabos. I think that's how you say her name. This book, I think, was translated from French to English. And I really want to get the rest of these books because, listen, I gave this book a 4.75 or 4.5, something like that, because it was so good. Oh my goodness. The only reason I didn't give it a 5 was because the male lead in this book, what was his name? Thorn. Oh my gosh, another Thorn. I loved him, even though sometimes he could be a bit of a jerk, but listen, like, his family's kind of crazy. So I really want to see more of him in the series, and I'm very excited to get into the rest of the series when I'm able to buy them, because I'm trying to get through my physical TBR, so I'm trying not to buy any more books physically for myself. It just depends on when I get to it, you know? Then the last book I want to recommend, which is a standalone, and honestly, I recommend this for any time of the year at this point. It's The Book Thief by Mark Zuzek. I have talked about this already, I think, in one other video, the first video I ever posted. It's a story told by death during the Holocaust. This book just gives it. This book, I ate it up every time. I read it twice and I want to reread it again. I probably will this winter. I love this book. And if you want to cry, this is a good cry book. It does have some language. And most of these, all of these series and trilogies and everything that I have given you so far, they are pretty clean. Like, there's no like spice content in them, and they're books that I just highly recommend. I cannot believe I forgot a book that was on my TBR that I put on the TBR, and I totally forgot because I don't have a physical copy. I want to finish the 4th book in the Natural series, Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have read the first 3 and I loved them. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I really want to get into that. I'll probably get it on Libby if they have it. Continue on with the physical TBR. Now, this is a short TBR just because since I am a mood reader, to an extent, I don't want to give myself too much of a structure. And then also, since I am one of those people who doesn't really have a standard on what to read during the seasonal months, I tried to put on this list winter type books that I have that I want to get to. Technically I have 8 books on this list, but some of them are on the book cart behind me and I didn't really want to get them out, so I will do that one first. So we have Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, and I got through 29 pages of this book in the month of October, and then I just did not pick it up because I was busy with other books. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I definitely want to pick this back up and finish this one and also finish the series. I would love to make book videos of me, like vlogs reading each book, and maybe even, I don't know how to do the watch the movies ones. I've never seen the movies, so I would love to do that. I don't know if I would just record my reactions to the movie and edit like the cool parts of certain things, because I know some spoilers, but I don't know like all of them probably. So yeah, let me know what content you want to see with this book and the rest of them, because they're all right here. They're sitting there waiting for me. And then of course I said that I want to read the Stars Above collection earlier. We know this. Next is Stephanie Garber's Legendary. I need to finish this trilogy this winter for the love of everything that's good and holy. I know that I think Spotify has it to where they have the audiobooks for these books. So I definitely want to at least read this book in the month of February. It's highly on my TBR. And if I can get to final, whatever the last one is, I'm hoping I can. I just don't have the physical copy, so I could either get it on Libby or go to my nearest local library and see if they have it in stock. And if not, then I might just have to go buy it or buy it on my Kindle, because I don't have room for physical copies that much right now at all in my house. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this trilogy if it's the last thing I do. Next is, I think, a travel romance that I really am excited about. It's The Paper Girl of Paris by Jordan Taylor. I've not really heard anything about this book. I saw this on sale and I was like, ooh, I love the cover and I like Paris and I love to travel and I want to travel so bad. So I was like, if I can't travel right now because I don't have the money or the time or the means, I can just travel in book form. So that's why I keep buying books set in other countries or other parts of the United States. It's a pretty short book. The font isn't like, well, if it'll focus, the font isn't like crazy big, crazy small. So I think I can get through this pretty fast. And then last but not least, we have The Shepherd's King duology, which is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. I think that's how you say her name. I got these books for Christmas, and you best believe I'm gonna read these so fast. I'll probably try to pick them up the first or second week of February, because what do you mean? And I think they're also on Kindle Unlimited, so if I want to switch back and forth between my Kindle and the physical copies, I can probably get it done a lot faster because I read faster on my Kindle, which a lot of people have that same thing going on. I don't know how to explain. My brain stopped working. I'm sorry. But yeah, I really want to get into this series so bad. Okay guys, that is it for my winter recommendations and winter TBR. What are some of the books that are on your TBR, and would you recommend any to me? Recommend me winter, recommend me anything actually, in all honesty. Christian winter books, Christian summer books, Christian anything, or non-Christian fantasy, non-Christian romance. Just try to give me closed door and kind of no spice recommendations. That's all I implore you and ask you. And if you do give me a recommendation that has stuff in it, could you like give me closed door recommendations of what chapters and pages to skip? I would appreciate it. I love you guys so much, and if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe, hit the like button if you liked it. Share with your friends. If you have any bookish friends who like to watch YouTubers, have them on in the background, you know. You don't even have to look at my face, you know. You can just listen to me ramble about books. That's if you want. If not, that's completely fine. I hope you have an amazing weekend, an amazing next week. Happy reading. Bye!